Life is not defined by what we have, but by who we become. Every single day, people talk about wanting success, respect, and influence, but only a few are willing to build the habits that create them. High-value individuals are not born extraordinary. They are shaped by the choices they make, the discipline they embrace, and the standards they refuse to compromise. What makes them stand out is not luck or chance, but the daily commitment to live with purpose and strength. In this message, we are going to uncover the 10 powerful habits that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary, the common from the uncommon. These are not just habits to admire from a distance. They are practices you can begin to apply in your own life. By the end of this speech, you will not only understand what it takes to become a high-value individual, but you will also feel the fire to rise higher, to live bolder, and to step into the version of yourself that the world desperately needs to see. Stay with me until the end, because one insight, one shift, one powerful decision could change the direction of your life forever. Today is not just about listening, it is about awakening. This is your moment to step into strength, into clarity, and into the habits that will define your legacy. Discipline over motivation is one of the most defining qualities of high-value individuals because it creates consistency where motivation fails. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes depending on emotions, circumstances, and environment. But discipline is built like a muscle, practiced daily until it becomes second nature. A person who depends only on motivation will work when they feel like it. They will push forward when the mood is right. But the moment life gets heavy, they slow down, procrastinate, and lose sight of the bigger vision. High-value individuals understand that feelings are temporary and unreliable, so they anchor their lives on discipline, a system of daily actions that are not negotiable, no matter how they feel. They wake up early, not because they are motivated every day, but because they promise themselves to honor their routine. They train their bodies, read, study, and push their limits, not because every moment is exciting, but because they know every repetition, every small step, and every sacrifice compounds into something far greater in the long run. Discipline brings stability and predictability to progress. Without it, even the most talented person drifts in circles. High-value individuals create habits that align with their long-term goals, and they do not wait for inspiration to strike before they act. For them, discipline becomes freedom. Freedom. When others are trapped in cycles of laziness and guilt, they are liberated by knowing their path is already structured. They value consistency over intensity because they know showing up every single day, even with small steps, builds more power than occasional bursts of passion. This commitment to discipline shapes their identity. They see themselves as dependable, someone who can be trusted to deliver, someone who follows through on their promises. It sets them apart in a world where most people quit when things get tough. Discipline also teaches them resilience, because every time they choose action over excuses, they strengthen their willpower and remind themselves that control lies within, not in external circumstances. They become masters of their time, refusing to be ruled by distractions or temptations. In the long run, this habit allows them to outlast competition, endure challenges, and achieve goals that seem impossible to the average person who relies only on motivation. Self-respect and boundaries are the foundation of how high-value individuals carry themselves and interact with the world. They know that the way they treat themselves sets the standard for how others will treat them, so they refuse to compromise their dignity for temporary approval or validation. High-value individuals understand that saying yes to everything is a form of weakness, not generosity, because it depletes energy and leaves no space for true priorities. Instead, they set clear boundaries around their time, energy, and emotions, protecting them as if they were the most valuable resources. This does not make them selfish, it makes them wise, because they recognize that without self-respect, it is impossible to give real value to others. People with strong self-respect never beg for attention or chase acceptance because they know their worth does not depend on external recognition. They are willing to walk away from situations, relationships, or opportunities that demand them to compromise their standards. This ability to walk away is not arrogance but strength. The strength of someone who knows that protecting their peace is more important than pleasing everyone. By being selective with who and what they allow into their lives, they preserve their energy for growth, vision, and meaningful contribution. Self-respect also influences the way they communicate. They speak with clarity and confidence because they know their voice has value. They do not tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or dishonesty, and this makes others approach them with a sense of seriousness. When they commit fully, but never at the cost of losing themselves. Their boundaries act as a filter, letting in only what aligns with their values and pushing away what weakens their character. Over time, this practice shapes their reputation. They become known as individuals who cannot be bought, swayed, or broken easily. People trust them because their presence carries authority without arrogance. They are admired not just for their success, but for their standards, for the way they stand tall in a world where many bend easily. High-value individuals know that the world respects those who respect themselves first, and so they guard their boundaries not with fear but with pride, because it is this habit that allows them to live with both freedom and strength. A relentless growth mindset is one of the most powerful habits that separates high-value individuals from the rest of the crowd because it keeps them moving forward no matter the stage of life they are in. They never believe they have reached the peak of their abilities. Instead, they treat life as an ongoing classroom where every experience, win or loss, is an opportunity to learn. This mindset allows them to remain humble, curious, and adaptable, even when they achieve great success. While many people grow comfortable after reaching a certain level, those with a relentless growth mindset understand that comfort is the enemy of progress. So they constantly push themselves into new challenges, new environments, and new ways of thinking. They believe that the only limit is the one set in the mind, and by expanding their mindset, they expand their possibilities. These individuals are lifelong learners, not just in formal education, but in daily living. They read, study, and surround themselves with mentors and experiences that challenge their perspective. When they fail, they do not see it as a reason to stop, but as a stepping stone that reveals a new lesson. They see rejection as redirection, obstacles as training, and hardships as opportunities to build resilience. Because of this mindset, they remain flexible and innovative, able to adapt when the world shifts and able to thrive in uncertainty where others give up. Their hunger for growth keeps them sharp, focused, and open to possibilities that others overlook. Another part of this mindset is the belief in self-investment. They know that growth does not happen by accident. It is intentional and requires discipline. They invest in developing their skills, building new habits, and strengthening their minds. They do not shy away from criticism or feedback because they know every perspective can help them improve. Instead of fearing change, they embrace it, knowing that change is the only constant in life. Over time, this relentless pursuit of growth builds a powerful identity. Others see them as unstoppable, not because they are perfect, but because they never stop evolving. They understand that success is not a destination, but a journey, and growth is the fuel that drives them forward. This habit ensures they never remain stagnant, they never settle for mediocrity, and they never stop striving to become a better version of themselves every single day. Emotional mastery is a defining habit of high-value individuals because it allows them to maintain control of themselves even when the world around them is chaotic. Instead of reacting impulsively to anger, fear, doubt, or frustration, they pause, process, and respond with clarity. They understand that emotions are powerful forces that can either guide or destroy, and by mastering them, they gain the ability to lead themselves and others with wisdom. Where most people lose focus and crumble under pressure, high-value individuals remain calm and collected, turning their emotional control into a source of strength. They do not deny or suppress their emotions, but they refuse to let emotions dictate their choices. This self-mastery helps them see situations from a higher perspective and make decisions that serve their long-term vision rather than their short-term feelings. They are not easily provoked by insults, failures, or setbacks because they know that reacting with emotion gives power to external circumstances. Instead, they use challenges as tests of patience and composure. By keeping their emotions balanced, they create an atmosphere of stability that others naturally gravitate toward. People trust leaders who remain calm in storms, and high-value individuals become that steady anchor. Their presence brings reassurance because it is not driven by chaos, but by clarity. This mastery also extends to empathy and understanding. High-value individuals can control their emotions enough to recognize and respect the emotions of others. They listen with patience, they observe carefully, and they respond thoughtfully, which makes their communication impactful and their relationship stronger. Because they are not consumed by pride, anger, or fear, they can guide others with compassion while still standing firm in their values. Practicing emotional mastery also shields them from being manipulated. In a world where many people use guilt, fear, or pressure to influence decisions, those who control their emotions cannot be easily swayed. They move with intention, not reaction, and this makes them unshakable. By keeping their emotions aligned with their principles, they build resilience and mental toughness that allows them to endure hardships with dignity. Ultimately, emotional mastery transforms them into individuals who inspire confidence. Their ability to remain composed under pressure makes them dependable in leadership, relationships, and personal growth. People look up to them because they embody balance in a world that often swings between extremes, and this discipline over their inner world becomes one of their greatest sources of strength. Service and contribution form the heartbeat of high-value individuals because they understand that true greatness is not measured by what they gain, but by what they give. They recognize that success without impact is empty, so they dedicate themselves to using their gifts, knowledge, and resources to uplift others. Their lives are not built solely around personal achievement, but around leaving a legacy that inspires and benefits people beyond themselves. They believe that value multiplies when it is shared, and so they make service a daily practice, whether through mentorship, acts of kindness, or creating opportunities that empower others to grow. This habit comes from a deep sense of purpose. High-value individuals know that chasing only material rewards or recognition will eventually feel hollow, but contributing to the well-being of others creates fulfillment that lasts. They do not give from a place of weakness or obligation, but from strength, because they have built themselves up first and now have the capacity to pour into others. Their service is intentional, rooted in the belief that when you help others rise, you rise as well. They also understand that contribution is not always grand or public. Sometimes it is found in simple acts of listening, encouraging, or guiding someone through a difficult moment. They treat everyone with dignity, regardless of status, because they see potential in every person. Their ability to contribute comes from humility, as they know that knowledge and resources are wasted if they are kept to themselves. By sharing what they have learned through their struggles and triumphs, they allow others to avoid mistakes and move faster toward their own goals. This mindset of contribution strengthens their character and reputation. People remember those who made them feel seen, valued, and supported. High-value individuals are not motivated by applause, but by impact, and this makes their actions genuine. Over time, their service builds trust and influence because people naturally gravitate toward those who give without expecting something in return. Service also keeps them grounded. No matter how high they rise, they remain connected to humanity through the act of giving. It reminds them that life is bigger than their personal ambitions and that the greatest wealth is found in the lives they touch. This habit ensures that their success is not just personal but collective, and their legacy is measured not in possessions but in the people they helped along the way. Unshakable integrity is the cornerstone of every high-value individual because it defines their character and makes their presence trustworthy in a world where many compromise for convenience. Integrity means that their words and actions are aligned, that they stand for truth even when it is difficult, and that they uphold their principles regardless of who is watching. High-value individuals know that reputation can be built on appearances, but true respect is built on consistency, and consistency is only possible when integrity is non-negotiable. They understand that shortcuts, dishonesty, and manipulation may offer temporary gains, but those gains come at the cost of credibility, and once trust is broken, it is nearly impossible to fully restore. People with unshakable integrity live by values rather than circumstances. They do not shift their behavior depending on what is convenient or profitable in the moment. Their commitments are honored, their promises are kept, and their actions reflect reliability. This makes them dependable in every aspect of life, whether in leadership, relationships, or personal growth. Others know that when these individuals speak, they can trust their words because their lives prove them true. This consistency builds influence, not through force, but through respect earned over time. Integrity also requires courage, because standing for what is right is often unpopular and difficult. High-value individuals face temptations, pressures, and opportunities to compromise just like everyone else, but their principles act as their compass. They are willing to walk away from deals, relationships, or advantages that conflict with their values, knowing that protecting their character is worth more than temporary success. This courage makes them resilient, because nothing external can force them to betray who they are inside. Their integrity also inspires others. People naturally trust and follow those who live by clear values, and this creates influence that no title or position can buy. Their presence commands respect, not because they demand it, but because their life reflects authenticity. By being the same person in public and in private, they set a standard that challenges others to elevate themselves. Ultimately, unshakable integrity gives them peace of mind. They do not live in fear of being exposed or caught because their actions are transparent and honest. No. Their strength lies in knowing that they can look in the mirror with pride, unashamed of their choices. This habit becomes the anchor that grounds all other habits, ensuring that their success is built on a foundation that cannot be shaken. Every journey toward becoming a high-value individual is built on the daily choices we make and the habits we commit to. Discipline over motivation, self-respect and boundaries, a relentless growth mindset, emotional mastery, service and contribution, and unshakable integrity are not just ideas to admire, they are practices to live by. Together, they form a blueprint for a life of purpose, strength, and influence. The world does not need more people chasing quick success. It needs more people who embody character, resilience, and vision. When these habits are lived out, they not only transform the individual, but also inspire everyone who crosses their path. True value is never in what we say we will do, but in the actions we take every single day to become better, stronger, and more impactful. So as you carry these lessons forward, remember that greatness is not built overnight. It is carved out through discipline, protected through self-respect, sharpened through growth, strengthened through emotional control, magnified through service, and secured through integrity. The person you become through these habits will not just succeed in life, but will leave behind a legacy that others will look to with admiration and respect. Thank you for giving your time and focus to this message. I believe you have within you the ability to rise higher, to stand taller, and to live a life of true value. Good luck on your journey of becoming the best version of yourself, and may every step you take bring you closer to the greatness you were created for. Stay strong, stay focused, and keep moving forward with purpose.